I did a pilgrimage to Camino de Santiago de Compostela in Spain a few years ago before entering the seminary. I do find great parallels between the pilgrimage and my faith journey. But because of time constraints, I'm going to illustrate two things. First, packing a backpack taught me an invaluable lesson. Since I would walk a long distance every day with my backpack on, I had to pack it as light as possible. Travel light is what Jesus instructs his disciples when sending them on mission, as in Mark chapter 6, verse 8 through 9. Since I want to go far on the road for Jesus, I now travel light and enormously enjoy the simplicity of life. Second, I had to climb the Mount Pyrenees. Yes, the same mountain that Napoleon had a hard time to climb. And although the peak of the Pyrenees could not be seen through the thick fog, I knew it was there. Likewise, I sometimes have a hard time to feel the presence of God in my life, notwithstanding His presence. As I ascended the steep slope in this God-forsaken country, I continuously entreated to God to grant me strength to climb up to the summit. I got wondrous energy that enabled me to climb. I then learned to trust in God's faithfulness and steadfast love even in the thick fog of life situation. And as I was walking alone on the slope, I felt I was growing closer to Jesus and God. All I need in my faith journey is God's love and grace to serve Jesus and love Him today. Let me tell you a story why my heart is set aflame for small group ministry. Many years ago, I was a small group member at a mega church. Like most small groups, my small group consisted of pretty much homogeneous people with the same background. One day, a middle-aged white woman, Jennifer, came to our group. As usual, we asked her to introduce herself. I was a guest when I was listening to her story. She went through every imaginable misery in her life. And I saw an uneasy silence in the group. She was the epitome of the marginalized. I'm going to use a pearl as a metaphor. We all know how a pearl is produced. An irritation or a foreign object like grain of sand enters an oyster. Oyster then responds by sealing off the containment and ultimately produce a pearl, a beautiful, valuable, and rare gem that all began from something irritable. Yes, Jennifer was an irritable person who entered our comfortable small group setting. But my small group began to build a family-like nurturing place. It took time, but we really cared for Jennifer, and we grew in our faith through helping her. And this is why I am so committed to the small group. I want to help small groups to build healthy, nurturing community where people share their lives together in Christ, even though they are in different walks of lives. As my resume says, I wear different hats of a leader. I want to share a story of the most challenging and exciting and rewarding experience as a leader. I was a venture capitalist before getting involved in ministry. My fund bought a distressed company based in Paris, France. Yes, I had to go to France. And the first thing I had to do is to restructure the company. It means I had to let go of most employees, including managers, and eventually hire new people. can you imagine the morale in the company? Inspiring the remaining employees and making them stay motivated was the biggest challenge. The difficulty of accomplishing this goal was extra hard because French don't work as hard as us in the States. They work only 35 hours per week and still complain. This was an opportunity for me to exercise my leadership skills, like communication skills, sharp perception ability, relationship building ability, and so on. I started meeting with every employee in person to understand his or her feelings, including fear and resentment. I paid close attention to what they have to say because active listening is one of the most important elements in leadership. I began to build trust relationships by ensuring that we are going to pull through together this hardship. And I then started building a strong team by working together with them, and I showed examples and guidance. I was the first one in the office and the last one to leave the office. During this process, of course, I had many bottles of wine and foie gras. And eventually, I was able to build a strong team that shared my vision and accomplished our goals together. I set clear vision and goals for them, why we are doing what we are doing, and where we are going, and how we are accomplishing them. It was the most rewarding experience as a leader. I know many Christian leaders face similar dysfunctional situations, and they need similar leadership skills, although the end goal is different. Thank you.